Stevens model 73Y. Y for youth model. This thing is small. When you come to the Milsurp garage, we're not concerned with size. We're concerned with patent numbers. That always makes us have a good time. And we love the old Savage Stevens. Yep, this is 1972 vintage. Let's check it out. Milsurp Garage. Stevens model 73Y. Y is for youth model. And this thing is a 22 caliber, single shot, 18-inch barrel, bolt action. It's grooved for scope mounts. It's serial numbered, so we know it's after 68. Listed as Gunsmith Special. We have no idea what to expect. So right off the bat, it has no rear sight. But I have this model 1914 Savage 1914 sight knocking around. I knew I had it at home. I knew it would fit in the dovetail, and it does. It has an elevator. It turns out we don't need the elevator. We could take it out. Hopefully that's the case. I think it would look nicer without it. If it just happens to end up in the right spot to be right on target, it would be great. But we got the elevator if we need it. And yeah, we took it to the range. We took it to the range right away before we did anything, before we did any research. And this is what happened. Yep. We got nothing. We got no operation whatsoever. No dent in the firing pin, nothing. No dent from a firing pin. So we knew we had our work cut out for us. But together, we're going to straighten this thing out. We're going to get this thing working. This is what we're dealing with right now. So yeah, let's just talk about some history on this thing. So it originally hit the streets as the model 1963, in 1963, of course. Discontinued in 69. Don't know what happened there, but it came back again in 65 as this model 73. So I guess there was a crossover period where they were both out there, I suppose. Don't know what the differences were, but from 65 to 1980, these things were produced, right? Now, 65 to 68, it's kind of easy to figure out when you're in those years. You have no serial number. We have a serial number. We have a serial number that starts with a B, and then, you know, we have some paperwork. You know how it is with these things. Show you, we got here, we got the Savage dating. With a B, we know we're February 72 to September 75. We also have, well, there's some information here, different kinds of Stevens date codes. Here's the, what is this? Oh, this is like for earlier ones, and we didn't have to worry about that. And then this breaks it down even more. So our serial number, starting with a B, low number in the B, so it would be right here, 1972. And that's where I would date it. And then, of course, the Savage, you know, the infamous Savage date codes. Let's zoom in here. This one, instead of being some cryptic kind of code, it just straight up has a 72 here and a 6. So I would think that's June 1972. So there we're able to date it to 1972. I believe that to be correct. And the patents. We pull the patents. Who are the patents? Louis Elkus. Mr. Elkus. Some serious patents here too, man. This guy's not fooling around. There's the whole firing mechanism using a unitary spring with 3 arms. There it is down here. So a unitary meaning, I guess there's a spring that just kind of like runs everything. And look at that. It's all incorporated into the whole mechanism. This one spring running everything. That's kind of good. I mean, if you break a spring, I don't know of any spring in any firearm that breaks and the firearm is still functional. Usually it's not functional anyway. So, but a nice, you know, these patents are written up in 63 for the original release of this one. The, what was it again? The Model 63. But yeah, here I got some info on those. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's check out. Then the other patent here is for bolt action rifle barrel construction. And not only that, more than that, he's got the bolt here and everything too. Oh, here's, no, it's still the same patent. So he's even got the bolt here. The bolt is where this rifle gets interesting. The bolt that we're going to delve into, this is where the problems arise. But you can see these parts. This became big in the mid to late 60s, these stamped steel types of parts that are like extractors and ejectors and stuff. And I think the extractor here is literally a spring-loaded, right here. This is the ejector. It's a spring-loaded nub that runs down the center of the barrel, of the bolt. We'll take a look. But yeah, Mr. Louis Elkus. Louis Elkus has this dual patent here running for this rifle. Let's see. Not much that I had printed out here, but I might as well run through it. They feature an anodized cast aluminum alloy receiver and trigger housing. One thing that makes these rifles unique is that they use a hammer. We're going to take a look inside. We'll see that. The receivers were grooved for mounting a rimfire scope and were not much more than a hollow tube. The receiver is weird. We're going to take a look. I'll show you. It is kind of weird. The takedown bolt goes through the receiver, locks into the barrel extension. Stocks are walnut finished hardwood. Feature a hard rubber butt pad, although all the ones I've seen appear to be plastic. This definitely appears to be plastic, so I don't know what that hard rubber is all about. The bolts were modular. Okay, the bolt is interesting. I can't just pop it out. It's kind of weird to, you know, a lot of times these bolts, you hold the trigger, you pull them right out. Not this one. It's all enclosed. We're going to get in there. We're going to have to get in there. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix this thing together. The bolts were modular, pieced together from cast, forged, and stamped steel parts. It's not uncommon to find one missing the bolt knob or the bolt handle. A lot of bolt issues with these. It's true when you look at them online for sale. Big firing pin breakage issues. Hint, hint. The firing pin free-floated in the bolt, travel being limited by a dent made in the metal by a chisel. We're going to have a lot of fun here. The extractor was spring steel. The ejector was a spring-loaded pin mounted in the face of the bolt. And we'll take a look at that. Originally sold for $21.95. These rifles were made in Savage's Westfield, Massachusetts plant, and say so on the barrel. No Chicopee Falls here. These were definitely in Westfield, Massachusetts. Short, long, or long rifle. USA, of course. Because Savage had closed Chicopee Falls in 1960 and Utica in the early 60s sometime. And one other idiosyncrasy that I don't want to forget about before we move on is that for a youth rifle, every time you open the bolt and close it, you put the safety on. We cannot pull the trigger here. Safety has to be taken off to shoot. Every time you cock it again, you load it, the safety will go on every time automatically. So shotgun guys might not be affected by that much, but regular plinkers that are used to their 10-22s are gonna be pulling their hair out of their head. But your single shot anyway, it's not that hard to remember to do that. Like the Model 15, how you had to you had to load it, close the bolt, and then you had to then there was a secondary motion you had to do to cock it every time. So with this one, it cocks, but you have to take the safety off every time. You kind of wind up remembering those kinds of things. So boy, I guess that's the fastest we ever went through the initial stuff, huh? What else we got? Rifling is 1 1/16" right hand twist. Okay, like you really needed to know that. So let's get in here. I didn't have anything ready, but I don't think I need much. Let's dabble. Let's see if we could fix this thing. Let's see. I might have to we have this down here. Let's get a nice wide. That's nice and wide. Look at that, the widest one. Always, even with these takedown screws. See, this one's, I'll get in there. I'll zoom in with you. Look, I didn't do this. Look, it's a little butchered. You see it? See, you hate to see that, even just a little. Why should that be chewed up like that? Some taps with a hammer can fix a little bit of that. It'll make it a little less obvious, at least. But we'll mess around right now. Let's just get it apart. Let's just see what we're dealing with. I can cut the tension with a knife here. We're going to find a broken firing pin. I mean, that's the issue with these things. I don't think any of you are on the edge of your seats or anything. But taking these things apart, a little weird. They're a little different than what we're used to seeing right here. So right away, there's these 2 screws here. Let's see, how does this look? That feels nice. Let's get in here. There's one here. That'll be finger loosenable now. There's another one. It's in a weird spot. It's kind of like hidden. So I noticed already that you kind of got to do a half screwdriver insertion kind of thing. Get it in there kind of like halfway. Maybe if we just took the bit, maybe we have enough finger strength to turn that from out here. It looks like it. Yep, now we got it. Let's get that out of the way. All right, so they're different sizes, so we want to be sure. Short one goes towards the back, and the long one has a lock washer, and that goes towards the front. I like to use lately, I'll show you what I'm using lately. I got this like tray like this. I like this tray. That's what I've been using lately. because the way it's laid out, you can even orientate the screws like higher, lower, side, like I kind of like that. And yeah, there's this hammer that they're talking about. So with the safety off, there it is. That's pretty simple. There's that, oops, sorry. There's that spring down there. The what was it called? Oops, there we go. We can recock it. Nice. Don't snap this with disconnected like that. Don't do that. What was it called again? I feel like I'm doing the guy a disservice if I don't call it what he called it. I want to be right to Mr. This guy could still be alive. I mean, this gun isn't that old. It's called the unitary spring with three arms. The tri-armed unitary spring. Now, here's what's weird. Here's what's weird here is that this, we got to stay on camera. You know what? I think we need a little zoom out going on. We don't need to be that close. I think this whole thing comes out. Yeah, that's how that comes out. So remember this now, when we put it back together, we have to lay the bolt in here, and then that whole assembly goes on like that. Okay. Upside down, right. All right, we'll remember that. And then, yeah, this is what they mean about the receiver. It's weird. It's kind of like an interesting construction. And then the barrel, there's the barrel. Just has the cuts on the side. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. This is where we're going to be working. This is what we're going to be working on. And here's our problem right here. Here's our firing pin. It's supposed to go all the way down this channel and come out over here. And it's not. Here's the thing. Let's zoom. What I don't like about what's going on with the iPhone lately that I'm using here for recording is that once you start recording and you're zoomed out, if you zoom in, it doesn't switch to the micro camera. I don't know if it always did or it didn't. I don't know. I'd have to stop the video right now. Here, let's see. I'm gonna try it. See, so if I stop the video and zoom in, then it switches to the camera where, see, I can get really close like this. And then if I want to zoom back out, I guess I just have to edit that in and out. No problem. No problem. That's what the phone needs me to do. I'm here to please. Let's get a pointer so we could look at some stuff. So yeah, the firing pin, it's broken off right here. Right there, it's broken off. And it's supposed to travel the length of the bolt and come out over here. And there's no spring in this, nearest I could tell. It's just kind of, when you chamber around, if it's protruding and you chamber around, the rim would push it back, apparently just far enough where, it would be sticking out like that when the hammer hits it, it would be just enough to set it off. So this spacing right here is important because you don't want it to go any further than there. I mean, that's as far, flat is as far as you'd want it to go forward. And I think, see, it's kind of like, this is where that chisel mark that they were talking about kind of holds it into place. You could see how it's not able to slide in and out. I think it's being blocked here by that staking. So we're gonna have to get rid of that, and then I guess hammer it back, hammer in another notch like that. Because I did read in a couple of forums, people like, yeah, my firing pin just falls out and it jams up the gun. What's going on? And maybe that's because the repair wasn't done properly. And then here's the the ejector, I believe. Here's the extractor, is the stamped steel part. And that's that. Let's take a look. See, now I can't zoom out any further than that now. So here's what I got. Numrich There's the part number. This is a new production, so I think they might have had original used ones. Why get one that's breaking for $16.41? We got a replacement. The only thing I don't like about it, look, there's a, I put this like on a flat surface. Look, what's going on here? Why is this thing bent? It's not straight, and it certainly looks like it needs to be straight, right? So we're gonna have to, number one, straighten this out. I shouldn't have to straighten out a brand new part. I don't know why they're sending me bent stuff. But this is a pain in the ass because it's the kind of metal that's not easy to straighten. Straightening it breaks it, you know what I mean? But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it on a straight edge over here. Off camera, unfortunately, I'm sorry. Let's see if that does anything. Nothing. That didn't do anything to straighten it at all. One more try. That might have helped. Nope. It's still bent. It's clearly, obviously bent. Let's just see what we got. Let's see if it goes in there. I'm thinking that's just such a straight line right there. I'm thinking that it's not. Look at it. It's definitely bent. But I don't know. Maybe that's not so bad. Maybe that'll kind of hold it in place so it doesn't fall out because it has to be staked. Maybe they did that on purpose. Let's not be so hasty about hammering or banging or straightening. Let's just let's work on getting this one out and restaking that back in there again. At least we see where the line is that they did stake it. Let's figure out what the best way to get this out of here would be. Is it really getting hung up? I got to take a close look. I'm going to leave you right there. You don't need this coaster. I'm going to leave you right here. I'm going to remember to keep you in that spot. I'm going to get a little closer, and I'm going to get my my headlight on. I got to do some close-up work right here. I want to really take a close look at that thing and see if it's actually that staking that's holding it in. Let me take a look. I don't see any other pin holding anything in. I see a roll pin here holding in this ejector. That's weird. I don't really see anything holding this in, but it doesn't appear to be bumping up against that staked area. Maybe it is. Yeah, I guess it is. So let's see if we can, let's see, what would we use to get in there? And so I have this big wide screwdriver here. That doesn't fit in there, so let's get a smaller bit on it. I was looking at this and I was thinking a good way to do this, maybe I could just drive the screwdriver straight down into this slot that's wide enough to get that edge off. And then we could always put it back. Interesting. Or a Dremel. I could always Dremel that. What do you guys think? Let's see. Let me take a look at the bits. We got a good bit to use here for that. This isn't so bad. Could use a bit like that, but I don't think round is good. I think a bit like this. Oh, but that's not going to fit inside the slot. That's the problem. Yeah. So it definitely has to fit in the slot. Maybe just use a drill bit? Or maybe this is the best thing to use. That's why they make this. Let's see, will that go in there to... Even that doesn't fit in there. Okay. Could always use a very, very pointy stone bit like this. But I don't know if that's strong enough to hone steel, would it be? It'd almost be better to push it back than to cut it off, because you want it restaked. If I get like a wedged type thing in there, I could use like one of these bits that are fatter. Yeah, that's not so bad right there. This way it kind of pushes it back. Yeah. I think that's the way to go. It has to be sitting up on something. So I need like a piece of wood that sits up on it like that. And then I get right here. And this will kind of spread that apart. Is this too wide? Maybe I could go a little bit thinner. Because if it's too wide, it might cut it off. Let's go a little thinner. It's too thin and it bottoms out. Here. Again, too thin. So yeah, it looks like this would be perfect. Let's see if that de-stakes this. I gotta get in close again. I'll get this out of the way. Let me get this out of the way. I'm gonna go even wider. I felt movement there. Just a little bit more. Not even hammering, just pushing back and forth. Oh, it looks like it's so close. It's on this side that there's like a burr there. Now I almost wish I could hit it with a tiny file. Let me see what I got. I'll tell you, if you don't have a set of these, you gotta get them. Let's see what I can do here. So close. I get some to make sure I'm still on camera. All right, let me get in here. Gotta be careful with these files. There we go. That's a nice feel right there. I like the way that feels. Gotta be careful with files because they do a lot of work all at once. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden they do a lot of work. They catch you by surprise. Do I have wider than this? Nah, that's about as wide as it goes. Unless I go fatter, and then fatter won't fit in that gap in the firing pin. So yeah, a really nice set of tiny chisels would go a long way here, but I do not have them. Is this wider? It is not. All right, so let me stick with this. Oh yes, it's almost ready to go. It's so close. Just try to push that metal back in instead of, I don't want to file too much of it off. I'm trying to just push it back in. So close. Is that really all that's holding it in here? That's sick. All right, let's see if we can could use the broken firing pin itself to push the metal out of the way. Yep, that worked. Am I still on camera? I hope so. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right, so it's out. Now, that was like a resistance fit to push out, so I'm hoping that we could just kind of like put the new one in the same way. So it would have to fall right there. Let's see if it moves all the way up to here. That would be where the staking is, and it does protrude. Yep. So that would work. And we'd have to hammer it into place. We see how it's crooked, right? I mean, you could see that it's not. Let me get rid of this. This might be messing up the lighting for you. Hope it wasn't during that whole procedure. But you see how it's not. It's curved. can't really bend this stuff without risking breaking it. Did that do anything? Straightened it a little. Well, that's good enough. I'm putting it back in place. Bent or not, it's going back in just like this. Let me see. How bent is it? Well, that was working. Maybe we just do a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Should be good. So it's going to bend that way. A couple of more tweaks. I just feel like I'm weakening it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's pretty straight. See how it looks now. So it looks straight along the slot now. Pretty much straight. So what do you think? Just hammer it straight in now? Just hammer it straight down and in, right? And then if it needs another stake it. We can't mushroom it. If we hammer like this, we could mushroom the top. That could be bad. Let's see how hard we have to hit it. Oh, it's going real easy. It's in already. It's not quite all the way down. We would have to tap it with something to get it down all the way, I think. It's kind of weird. It's not free floating in there. Maybe it's not down all the way. Maybe it really needs to seat all the way down to the bottom. I think it would be flopping back and forth already by now. How much further does it need to go down? It's like all the way down. Wow, that's pretty stiff. And it's not all the way down here. It's like sticking up. The other one wasn't sticking up. I don't know if this is going to work. Is it down all the way? Yes. Wow, how is that going to get pushed back? Impossible. I don't see this working. I'll be honest with you. Let's I mean, it's supposed to be like floating back and forth. It's not even sliding in here. Oh, there you go. It's like it's kind of loosening up a little bit. Could it be that bend in it that was doing that? It feels like it's loosening up a little bit now, but not sliding back and forth. It's like loosening up and down. Yeah, up here it's loose, and then down into this, it goes into that slot. It's not. It's like the bend in it is doing that. That's what it seems like. Is it still bent? Doesn't seem like it's bent anymore. Let's pop it up like that again. Sliding just fine here. This is what it needs to feel like. Yeah, definitely still bent. So maybe we try to tweak it over this way a little bit. Problem is that I'm bending the front over, but not this back part. Problem is that it's bent. That's the problem. They sent me a bent firing pin. That's the problem. It's bent. I'm gonna take it over here for a minute. I'll edit this out back if I, I'll edit it out if I have to. But I want to get over here. I want to put this thing in a vise. I want to get some bright light on it. I'm sorry, I don't have a camera over here. But I'm going to get it in my vise. And I'm going to see if I can do a better job at bending it straight. Seems like when you have something and you want to bend it straight, you really start bending it all over the place. Is this straighter? Let's see. Oops, sorry. It goes this way. Is this? See if it is the same width. Ah, look, see? It's also taller. But I don't know if this bolt part, this needs to, no, it's only traveling inside of here. This doesn't extend all the way into the barrel, so it should be okay if it sticks up a little bit. As long as it was straight. So it goes like this, right? It's just not freely sliding back and forth in here. Well, look at it. It's like breaking this, trying to even pull it. Look at how tight it is in there. Why? Because it's bent. It's not tight when I pop it out. Look, see over here, it slides nice. It's just getting this part in there. And there's nothing in the way here. Is there? That's not bent. Let's take a look at that channel. The channel looks fine. It's clean. There's nothing in the way. Oh my God. It's dark. Rub it on sandpaper to smooth it out. Once I do that, I don't know if they'll be so happy about taking a return on it if it doesn't work. Still looks like this tip is bent. Let me see something. A little bit more work in that vise. Doesn't feel like it rocks back and forth anymore when I lay it flat. This is a pretty flat table right here. Doesn't feel like it's doing that anymore. But it still doesn't seem like it's lining up perfect. I don't know. I'm thinking like when the hammer hits it, it's not even gonna move. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, there it's protruding from here. It's like if I hit it, I hit it with this hammer, it barely moves. It's not gonna move forward. It's got to be free floating in here, and it's not. If I pop the tip up here, then it feels like it's free floating. This back part, but not up through here. Gunsmith special, huh? This is why I very rarely do like this type of work on camera, because there's a lot of just sitting and staring at things, and it doesn't really make for a good video. I kind of feel like there's something going on over here, like that it's yeah, see, it's like it's bent right through here. There's a problem right here. What's going on right here? Why does this not even slide through? Oh, here we go. Now it's going. Let's see if that did anything somehow. Doubt it, but alright, let's get it out and back in again. It's funny how many times that stake right there is working. It's in, and it's in, and it's just tight. It's just in, and it's super tight. There we go. There's more movement though. That did something. Alright, so here's what I want to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I take it out one last time. I'm going to take this file right here. Alright, and then I'm running down this groove right here. And I'm going to open up this groove right over here. I think that's where the problem is. Right here. There's that spring in there, so I have to be careful, but just thinking I found a nice place to Right there. There, that feels nice. Right there. Not quite. Wait a minute. Right there. Just stay here for a while. Let's try the other way. Let's find a nice, comfortable movement spot. Let's just stay there. Oh, wait. Is that it? Oh, that feels good. Let's just stay there for a while. I think this channel got compromised somehow. That might have been what broke the firing pin to begin with. We'll clean this out good because we got like metal filings in there now. But let's just let's see if that did anything. We should feel a difference just from that if we're in going. Oh, wait a minute! Right away. Yeah, we got some now. At least we got some normal movement. It's pushed back to there. Yeah, that's how much would protrude when the hammer hits it. I'm going to leave it right here. So here's what we're going to do. Let's get it out. Maybe a little bit more. Pointy file, maybe? Get in there with the pointy file. Specifically in that spot. A little more. I don't want to hurt that spring. All right, that's enough. Let me get a brush. A rag. All right. Am I on camera for any of that? Sometimes we do some sick editing. That's my compressed air right there. I'm thinking that's going to work. That's what I'm thinking. Now what we need to do Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I gotta move again. In order to do this, I'm gonna open up my vise to be just wide enough to lay this in the channel. I'm gonna get my screwdriver head right across that stake. I'm gonna make sure the firing pin's in the middle of it. I'm just gonna hit it a couple of times. That's it. So what that'll do is that'll restake that Good enough to hold it. Yep. Now it's moving, see? There we go. We should be golden now. A little bit of working. We had to work it a little bit. A little bit of filing. You're gonna expect with these parts from numbers that you might have to do a little of that. Now let's see. Wow. Whew. You still there? 38 minutes. Come on. We do videos on like a gun where we just talk about it for more than an hour. 38 minutes ain't nothing. All right, how do we got to do this again? Let me get this closed. Lola, everything good, Lola? All right, get that closed. Don't want to be interrupted. We have movement. All right. Get that cleaned off. Let's zoom out. Oh, I have to pause to zoom out again. Be right back. Okay. So the story here is this will not fit inside the barrel because of this ridge on the top. It just doesn't seat all the way down inside of the bolt body. So what we have to do is take that edge off of there. I'm going to do that with a big flat file. So to be continued. All right. So let's outline what we did. And I think I got a little handle on why this breaks all the time. This guy was no John Browning, I'll tell you that right now. This guy is freaking horrible. The hell was this guy's name again? Nerpy von Gunstein. This guy was Louis Elkis. Hey Louis, if you're out there, I hope you found a different career. So the story here is what we did. Let's explain what we did. I had to file this down even as close to even as I can get with this channel in the bolt so that this would fit inside the receiver. But of course, in doing that, then we make this thinner and thinner and thinner, more prone to breakage, of course. So I got that done enough to be able to insert the bolt. Well, check this out. This is where this all started coming together. Let me kill this light because I think you actually see better with less light. Let me zoom in a little. Okay. So this now goes in here and I could turn the bolt down. So now what happens here is this extractor, you can see it's on a collar that does the kind of, the familiar rotation thing that we know about. That's why it's made where it rotates like this. Okay, we've seen that little Mauser-esque bite right there by Mr. Elkis. But, well, how does this go again? Oh, sorry, it's like this. So that's how that rotates on there. But the firing pin now, here's what's interesting. So when the bolt is turned down, now the firing pin gets hit. Dig this, the firing pin gets hit, right? Boom. See this relief right here in the barrel? So that relief is cut into the barrel so the firing pin can move forward. then what retracts the firing pin? So it's in the fired position now, right? Bang. See, this is flat right here, like the hammer just hit it. It's flat. This is extended. It hit the round, it fired it. Now, when you want to turn the bolt open, look, it's binding right here. See, you heard that click? That was the tip of the firing pin getting stuck on something up here, on the edge of the chamber or something. And that will eventually, because you see this just, you just lift this up. This is just, you torque that, you tweak that, you're just going to snap it right here, right where it was snapped, right there. So that you have to be very careful of that. There's no like rapid firing here. You turn down the bolt, bang, you fire, and that's why this is cammed. See, this is cammed so that it would bring the firing pin back, see? But it's binding here. I'm wondering, let me see if there's any way, maybe I could smooth that right here. That needs to be smoothed out. That transition there. I don't know. I don't know if I should mess with that or not. Let me just see. Let me just see something. Let me get those files out again. Oops. Sorry about that. These files come out again. There's like a half moon one here. So maybe I could just a little bit. But it is obviously made. That step. Let me just take a look at that again. That needs to be smoothed out right there. In, down, boom, we fire. See now here, that should be like a smooth trend. It shouldn't it shouldn't bind right there. Let me just get in here for a second. Guys, again, you're off. You're off camera just a little. I'm just going to take the bar off of that. There's a little bar on there, and I'm just going to knock it off. All right. See that? That's all I did was take that bar off. Let's see if that makes any difference. In, bang, we fired. See that? I don't like that. That right there, that sound, you heard that. That's going to break the firing pin. Let me just hit that again. Hold on. Should I have you in here? Can I do it with you in here? Let's see. Maybe. Which side was it again? Let me get it to here. That's happening right here. I gotta hold it this way between my legs. Hold on one second. Such an awkward position. Let's see if that did anything. Just trying to get that bar off of there. Bang. Oh, wait. Look at that. Just needed another hit. Bang. Fired. Firing pin's all the way wedged into that gap right there. Yep. Yep. I'm just going to hit it one more time. I see exactly what bar I took off. Give me a second. All right. This should be perfect. Bang. Nice. There, it's smoothing. Smoother. It doesn't feel like it's getting caught on anything. All right, let's wipe everything down. Just get this rifle back together. Stevens Model 73Y. Why? The Y stands for why did you even buy this? for $20? That's the question. Why? Why are you here? Okay. We all know why. Plainly obvious why. We're only at the... Ow. That hurt. Are we in here for an hour yet? I don't know. Okay. Let's get that. That's got to lay flat. That goes in there. Is this ready to go? It's ready to go. All right. So that goes like that, right? Now this goes on top of here. Let's get our screws. Lock washer, long screw front, short screw rear, remember? Boom, boom. Short screw in the rear. Safety's in the way. Here we go. Short screw in the rear. Long screw lock washer in the front. All right. All right, let's get the file out here. Thank you. This file set, boy, let me tell you, paid for itself today, huh? Little files. You got to get little files. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you. Little files. Where's that bit? Which one was that? Was it this one? Yes, it was. This will do. Does that feel like it's going in right? It does. This one in the back. It's tough to tighten this one back here because of its orientation. What I notice is you kind of do like a half screw slot thing here. And you move it over to the other side. Half screw slot. I just get one good bite right there. That was good. That was good. And this one, another little good bite. There we go. Mr. Good Bite. We just got a good bite. Now, what do we do? Do I can test it now? That's okay. You really got to push it home. You know what? It's better a little too tight than too loose. Like if I took too much off that firing pin and it was really loose in there, wouldn't be, because it's then I'm really making it thin. Let it slide back on the receiver a little bit. Look, how much am I going to be using this thing? I'm talking about, like, let it wear in over like 30 or 40,000 miles and it'll be great. I'm going to shoot this thing 8 times and put it away, and I'm never going to see it again. That's probably what's going to happen. I just wanted to shoot. And then you put them away shooting. That's the trick. You put them away while they're still shooting. And then you know it's good. Some kid somewhere is going to learn how to shoot on this thing somewhere in the future at some time. Who knows if I'll even be alive or not. And then if the firing pin breaks, you know, he could take care of it. Just want one more turn. There we go. That's it. That's all I want. Now, how does it feel? Feels all right. So I guess show you what it would get to feel a little bit better. Wow, what just happened? All right. It's all bindy. All right, there we go. Let's get realistic snap caps. Bust one out. Let's get one. These are getting beat up. I got a new set, actually. I got a new set. They sent me a new set. But look at these months and months. You remember when we first did the you know, I got some new realistic snap caps in 22. Check them out video. I've been beating the crap out of these. Come on, you know what I do here. I'm just going to take one. We're going to throw it in. All right? We're going to just throw it in. We're going to attempt to chamber it. I was doing a little of this at the range. That one, maybe this one's a little, dinged up. There's a couple of them, you know, like the projectiles start to go a little diagonal on them. Oh, It's not. It is this rifle. It was doing this. Why would it chamber? Why would it close just fine here, but not chamber it? It's almost like as if the chamber was dirty. It was doing this when I was at the range, where it would go like kind of halfway in. Interesting. Very interesting. It only goes to there. And what would stop it from chambering? Something with the chamber? I could feel that extractor sliding on the side of the receiver. Just doing this is I could wear it in too. But it just won't chamber. Just stops right there. Curious. I gotta get something. This is what I wanted to get. Let's zoom out a little bit. How far can I zoom? Oh, that's good. There we go. Nice. Just curious what's nothing in the way over here. But maybe there's like literally something there. There's nothing there. So why wouldn't it want to chamber? And it was doing this with live rounds. I'd have to like give it like a little extra shove and it would go. But here it's like, I'm just curious. Is it bolt related or just resistance to the chamber? Let me see. Let me take this. Just try to just put it in and see what happens. This is why you mess around with completely inert rounds. Yeah, look at that. It just won't even go in. What could be in the chamber to make that happen? Could it be that dirty in the chamber? It hasn't had a chance to fire yet. I was just chambering rounds and just going click because I had no firing pin. And I'm not going to try to chamber around here, that's for sure. Yeah, you have to. I guess I'd have to really slam it home. Here's something else. What caliber is this? Alright, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on here. No, will that fit? No, it will not. So maybe can I put this on this? Yes, I can. So let's go in the barrel. What is going on over here? Anything in the way over here? Anything just get honed out of there? What is going on? It's the weirdest thing. It is the weirdest thing. Well, all we could do is try to take it to the range and hammer around into there with the bolt. That's all we can do. So stay tuned for some range footage. I'm packing up here. As far as I'm concerned, that's a job well done. And whatever's going on there with that chamber, it was doing that. It was doing that at the range when I was trying to chamber the rounds with the dead firing pin. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to dry fire it because I think that also is what breaks these firing pins. But I'm pretty sure we're good. Let me just get it orientated like as if I'm shooting. See how it feels. Yeah, it just feels fine. I just gotta beat it up to get it open and closed, but that's what it's all about. That's what we'll do until it all wears in. It works fine. I just gotta, hopefully the snap caps don't chamber, but when I get to the range, I will be able to chamber live rounds, but I'm gonna be damn careful to have this thing pointed downrange when I attempt any type of chambering or anything. So I guess should we follow up now? Or just listen, calling this job well done. I don't think we're going to be back. I think we'll just tag the range footage at the end, and then whatever happens, happens. And then I'll tell you at the range whether or not we could take this elevator. The only thing I don't like about the site is just the elevator. I don't think the elevator looks that great on it. Hopefully that could just come out, and then wherever this sits is good enough for, like, 20, 30 yards, whatever it should be. Hopefully it is. And then the sight will look decent. The rifle will be shootable. So cross your fingers. Here's the range footage. All right, here we are back from the range. Let's give a little overview of exactly what we had to do to this Stevens Model 73Y to get it working. Number one, we replaced the broken firing pin with a newly manufactured replacement from Numrich. It needed a little bit of straightening, needed some fitting, but in the end it did work. We had to open up and smooth the firing pin channel. It seems like there was a little bit of a burr in there, also stopping the firing pin even when it was straightened from moving back and forth freely. It really needs to just free float in there. That's important. We smoothed the barrel face at the contact with the bolt and firing pin. This involved reshaping the cammed surface, which retracts the firing pin when the bolt is turned, when opening the bolt. And we did a little bit more of all three of those things after this after the last chunk of video that you saw. We did a little bit more filing of that edge, so that the bolt would slide in and out of the receiver a little bit better. It was still that edge of the firing pin that was a little tall was still rubbing. So we ground that down, just filed it down a little bit more. And we opened up the firing pin channel just a touch more and smoothed that bolt face a little bit more. All three of those things were all working in the right direction. They just needed a little bit more. When you're taking away metal, you have to do it very sparingly, a little at a time. You want to just reach that perfect spot. You can't go too far because then you can never go back the other way. And one thing that really helped out with the chambering, I cleaned the chamber well with the brush using a drill. So I put the rod, the extension there, actually removed the barrel again and just did it right from the barrel end. And put the brush in there and spun it with a drill. That cleans it really good. And the rear sight elevator, when removed, accurately positioned the rear sight, which was beautiful. That's exactly what I was hoping for, because that elevator just didn't look right. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Man, this thing is small, let me tell you. And it was an interesting fix. And it's definitely the smallest 22 I have, and I'm really liking it. Hope you did too. And take care. We'll see you all soon on the next one. Bye-bye.